Good morning. It is, I think, the 15th of September or the 14th. At either rate, it's time for me to turn my compost. I'm doing it about every 7 days. Some people do theirs much quicker, like every 2 to 4 days. But I want to enjoy my gardening. I don't want to feel pushed and all that. So if it gets done in the time I need it done, it's done. If not, it'll still get done. If you don't turn compost, it'll eventually get done. It may take months and months, but it will get done. I'm showing you my comfrey that I planted a few years ago. My sister ordered it and told me all about it. Now there's all kinds of things said about comfrey. I'm interested in it only for the benefits of plants. So I chopped off, some people say cut, many of its leaves. It was about twice as big, each plant was. And I do this about 3 times a year. And I put it over on my compost pile. And that was like 2 days ago. And compost leaves are very quick to deteriorate. Look at that. They're already deteriorating. So I need to get them worked into the compost for the added nitrogen value. They say that compost roots go down 10 feet and they suck up the minerals and put it in the leaves. And that's why it's so good for your compost. Then your plants can eat it. Now here's my other row of comfrey that I planted last year. And I've only taken one harvest, was just recently, off of this because I wanted to get it established. So they're doing good too. So I'll have plenty of comfrey to come out here and take my anxieties out on chopping them. So I'm going to get with it and turn that pile as quick as I can. I've almost decided that I'm going to really focus on making small piles of compost instead of trying to save up enough to get huge piles. It just, I think will work better for me. Well, let me get started. So what I'm doing is basically bringing the outside layers down to the bottom and to the inside of the pile because it'll cook there, have its chance to cook anyway. There's a lot of stems, so it's going to take something for this pile to get done. Then I'll add a little bit of compost leaves on top. Now they say there's 3 or 4 reasons why your compost may not compost as quickly as you want. And one reason is the pile's not big enough. The other reason is, let me think, what was the other reason? Oh, it's not kept moist. And then the last reason, although I think there's another reason in between there, is that you keep adding stuff on top of it. So therefore, it kind of runs out of juice, so to speak, if you keep adding it. So once you decide that you have what you want composted, pretty much stick to that, unless it's comfrey leaves, because they can compost down very quickly. So you don't have to worry about them. Well, shame on me. I noticed my compost pile was not damp. I haven't been watering it like I should have, evidently. So we'll take care of that right now. This water hose is loud. I've got about a little more than half on there. And it is breaking down a little some, but it's got a ways to go. All right. More piling stuff on top of it. it's done. All that has been moved over here, watered good. So I'm looking forward to coming out here in about another week and doing the whole process over again. I understand that commercial organic growers have certain requirements they have to meet with their compost. They have to keep it at a certain temperature for a certain number of days, and it's quite a few days, for them to keep their certification as being organic, is what I assume is the reason. I'm glad I don't have to do that. There's no way I would get out here and turn this pile every 2 to 4 days. I might every 4 days in the cool weather, but not every 2 days. So that part's done. In about 7 more days, I'll turn it again. I'll flip it back over there. Meanwhile, I'm thinking about on this side, if I can get enough materials, I'll just put some more materials and start another pile. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do compost, finished compost. It's really probably better, but then I'll still put the unfinished compost materials, especially the cut grass, on my beds for mulch. That will maybe solve the problem. Well, let me invite you to go with me to the house. You and I were heading toward the house. We really were, but I got sidetracked. I sat down. I was going to just kind of look around and enjoy the garden, and then I started reviewing the video that I just did. And guess what? My compost grows roots 10 foot deep. Can you believe that? Kind of reminds me of a horror movie, a decaying matter growing living roots. And not only that, but there's a new plant, a compost plant. I didn't know there was one named that. Well, I'm sure you guys overlooked my bloopers, and they were pretty good ones this time. But anyway, I will head toward the house now, and thank you for sitting here with me and listening to my corrections. I will see you the next turn of the compost. You guys have a really good day.